Okay. Hi, everybody. How are you? It's Casey here. How's everybody doing? I'm excited to be here today with you. We are doing an event. Exciting, exciting stuff. So I just want to get everything out of the way that right now you are either watching this inside YouTube or you're watching this inside of Easy Webinar. And if you are watching inside Easy Webinar, which should be hopefully the majority, go ahead and leave a comment into the Facebook comment section. Okay, go ahead and leave a comment right into that Facebook comment section, and let me know if you can hear me okay. Things are coming in loud and clear, and if you are, if you're ready to rock and roll. So just let me know. And I do see. Oh, okay, we have some people coming through already. Gabrielle Ramos, welcome. Now, as you may be aware, generally there is when you're doing a Google Hangout, and this is via a Google Hangout, we're using our software Easy Webinar with a Google Hangout, there's about a 45-second delay. So I will be answering your questions as they come through. However, the best way to do this is to put the questions in right now before all that happens. Okay, so put your questions in right now, so then I will come to them down the road here. So thank you, Gabrielle, and I'm going to go in very quickly and see if we have people inside YouTube that might be commenting. And if you're in YouTube, I will try to get over there and look at your comments as well, if I can. Okay. However, most of the time, you are going to be in the event page. Let me see something here. Oh, are you hearing the delay? Hold on one second. Let me remove. You just remove that. I think I can hear my own voice here. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, here we go. So let me just, there we go. Okay, so hopefully that's better. Hopefully you can only hear me now while we do this particular event. Okay, so, well, why did I invite you guys today? I'm excited because today I wanted to talk to you about delivering your message to the world and building your community online with Easy Webinar. And we have some cool stuff that is coming around the bend pretty soon here that I'm going to be excited to share with you. All right, so just be aware that that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about how this integration works. We're going to get into some nitty-gritty stuff. Like, for instance, on this page, what you're seeing in front of you is a 4x3 slide presentation playing in a 16:9 player. Okay, all right. So just so you're aware, I'm going to be covering some of these things. Some of these things you've been having questions on. So now I see more comments coming through. So hi, Dominic. Awesome. Says sounds good. Michael Chapman, thank you. Good to see you. Wilson Barrera, good to see you, my friend. Just to raise my hand. Happy Halloween, Michael Chapman. I can hear you fine, Jack. Loud and clear, Juan. Excellent. You guys are inside of Easy Webinar. That's terrific. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen. And every so often, I'll refresh and take a look at these comments to see if there's anything else that you may have comments on. Okay? So with that said, I want you to start thinking about your burning questions, and many of you are in the group, right? Many of you are in our Facebook group, which is important. I want you to be in there, and I want you to be able to ask questions in there. So if you would like to have questions that I don't answer here, take those questions and put them in the private Facebook group that we do have, and I'll try to get to them later, because I'm definitely going to want to get to all the questions that people may have. So today I'm going to be presenting pretty much just slides. Now I'm using Google Hangouts to do this, and some of you might not necessarily be familiar with Google Hangouts, and I might turn the camera on what I'm doing here so you can see how to do this via a Google Hangout. Maybe I can show you the steps that I did to set this up. Is that something that you might be interested in? Because most of you who are here are already existing. I believe most of you are already existing members of EasyWebinar. Hi, Carol. How are you? Woo, Carol's here. Gabrielle, of course. Great to hear new development of EasyWebinar. Awesome. So we'll be talking about that now. Let me though go through some slides and show you exactly kind of how this works. I want to give you an environment. I want to build the environment, create the environment for you, which we're doing right now, so that you can do this yourself. Okay? As you can see, I already have the presentation up. I don't even have to show myself at this point, which is nice. Because if you're trying to use our software as a webinar platform, you can do this. And I can see the questions as they come through into EasyWebinar. Okay, so let me just come up through here. And what's interesting is I can also see the viewers that are coming through on YouTube. Okay, I can also see the viewers that are coming into YouTube, and I can see the viewers who are inside EasyWebinar, which is kind of nice. So I can kind of get a play of how many came to the event versus how many came to the actual YouTube page. Okay, so, but let me go through this particular presentation and share some stuff with you guys. So I'm going to bring it down a bit. We're going to start in here, and I want to ask you guys a question. This is a true or false question. It's 100 times harder to rise above the noise with your message today. True or false? Answer below. Put it in the Facebook comment section. It's 100 times harder to rise above the noise with your message today. What do you think? I'm going to let you kind of conceptualize this for a second. I think it's false. Yes, they say that there's more information, more content, more stuff, more noise on the web, but the thing about that is that those people who are creating the noise don't necessarily know how to rise above the noise, and it's really your opportunity with the proper tools, message, and value to rise above the noise. And it really only takes just a few skills to know how to do that, okay, to rise above the noise. And some of them are these engagement strategies that I'm showing you right now, using EasyWebinar, for instance, as a platform to do so. Okay, let's move on to the next question then. Hold on. True or false? Turn that down. Okay, true or false? A slide presentation by itself is better for establishing you as an expert in a particular field more than putting yourself in front of the camera. True or false? What do you think about that statement? Okay, a slide presentation by itself is easier to establish yourself as an expert than putting yourself in front of the camera. Yeah? Well, I actually think that is, what do you think I'm going to say? False. And I want your response. I want to know what you think about that. Put that in the Facebook comment below. I think for certain people in certain scenarios, presentations are more effective than putting yourself in front of the camera, especially depending on what your surroundings are, what kind of camera you're using, things like that. But I also would say that there's an additional level of engagement by showing who you are and including your surroundings when it's set up properly. So I think that slide presentations can by themselves can be very professional, you know, and if you're trying to stay within that professional realm, that's absolutely fine. And what I like about what our software is allowing you to do here is that you can do that. You can stay completely professional by just showing a presentation. However, with our software as well, and with Google Hangouts, you can show yourself too. So, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to show myself in a minute here, oh, so let me just go back into let me go back into some Facebook comments. Stan Gore says, fascinating. I'm watching on YouTube from one computer and on EasyWebinar on another. Although it is broadcast live and presented live on EasyWebinar, on YouTube, when I stop the play and commence it again some moments later, the play restarts exactly where I stopped. That is, I'm watching an instant replay on YouTube rather than the live broadcast. Well, Stan, our software should work the exact same way. So if you guys were to go up to this page and refresh this page, you'll see all those comments. You'll first off see all the comments that are on this page. So if you want to see the comments yourself, you can refresh it, and we'll continue on where we left off, essentially. It won't start from the beginning. But you said, when I stop the play and commence it again some moments later, the play restarts exactly where. Oh, I see what you're saying, Stan. In YouTube, if you were to stop it and then restart it, it doesn't start from exactly the same place as what our software does. Like if you were to start this over, if you were to refresh this page, it will refresh exactly where you left off. It'll refresh exactly where we are in the presentation if you were to refresh the this particular EasyWebinar page. But in YouTube, you're right, it does do that. It actually takes it and moves it earlier in the actual this presentation, which is really interesting. Michael Chapman says, I'm not a member of the Facebook group, must be a private group. How do I join, Mr. Z? I will let you know. I think I have a link somewhere, but it really is, if you look for EasyWebinar Video System in Facebook, you'll be able to find us, and then you can request to come join it. Yes? Okay. So let me continue on here and move through the slides. Okay. So here's another true and false, or false. You can build an entire business on webinars and online events. Well, what do you think I'm going to say here? Of course, I, being a webinar person, I'm going to say true. True is my response. And with a webinar, and you guys know this, you can use education-based marketing to drive more leads into your business through registration, create revenue in your business by charging for training that you send through the medium of webinars, and all the while establishing yourself as an expert in a particular field and niche by providing value in your presentations. Okay, so how does this webinar apply to you? How does this event apply to you? Well, you may have been on this particular event before. We're talking about traffic and conversion, as it is a big pain in the butt, but with what we're doing here, we're teaching ways to get traffic and conversion. And EasyWebinar will teach you this. Now, would you like a method for automating your profitability? How about having a traffic source that is also automated? And would you like a tool designed to provide more engagement, creativity, and sales? In other words, conversions. And do you want to build a long-lasting passive residual income? And I'm sure you're saying yes, so I promise that in this event, now that we are, we're full of go here, in this event, you will learn how you can set something up one time and have it work for you over and over again. And for those who have been to this particular presentation before, this is a little different now, and a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna show you how you can set something up once, how you can set a live event up once, and then have that live event turn into an automatic replay with our software. And you don't need to be a rocket surgeon or a brain scientist to work the technology and strategies to make it all possible. So who am I? You probably all know this, that I've been in the trenches of YouTube, webinars, video marketing for the last couple of years now, and I've worked with such clients as Estee Lauder, HarperCollins, and Dell in the offline world, and I've trained over 5,000 people on the subject of video marketing and YouTube as a traffic source. Plus, I preach the word of engagement. Anything that has engagement, I talk about it. So videos, webinars, events, Google Hangouts, things like that, I love to talk about. And I've shared this stage with some brilliant minds, and I continue to try to find a lot of awesome ways to engage and connect with your audience to bring in a deeper relationship so that you can essentially build your own community, build your own platform, okay? Drive your own, leverage your own platform to have your business, essentially. Okay, and of course, I'm the creator of Easy Webinar, which is the software that you're using right now. And when I started off, and many of you probably know this, that I was a YouTube consultant. Okay, I was building a business all around YouTube because I found that it was a good traffic source, but I wasn't doing it for myself. I was using it for other clients. And here's Estee Lauder, some commentary with Estee Lauder. And I was able to get to the first page of Google with my YouTube videos, which this is kind of how I started off. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, some cool things that I can do here. And that's when I started teaching this to clients. But getting onto the first page of Google was one element of it. I did find that I wasn't able somehow to, or for some reason, to really push that traffic into like a paid source back into my website effectively, to where I could convert those people into customers. The traffic was there, the conversions were not there, and that's when I started to use webinars. And when I started to use webinars, things definitely popped, things definitely changed in my business. In fact, I was using webinars, and 12 months of sales for just one product was about $245,000 using this webinar stuff. This is all on webinars that I did this, and I realized the effectiveness of it. And you probably know this already, but what is a webinar? Well, it's an online event, of course. It's a seminar at home. It is the thing that allows you to teach your prospects valuable information that has with a bit more length of time. For instance, on this particular event, we're probably going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. I want to not push beyond that, so that's where we're going to be at. It also builds trust. A webinar, I kind of look at that as a dating cycle, okay? It's my opportunity on the event to have you fall in love with me within the first date, and in this instance, if this is the first time you're here, within this webinar. And I'm only saying that because this is what you're going to do in your events. You're going to create an event that allows people to have a really tight connection with you, and you're going to want to get people to fall in love with you within the first webinar or within the first date as well. Okay, and it really helps you solidify yourself as a brand, as an expert in your field. And of course, you can generally sell higher ticket price items. In fact, I would sell $9.97 price points on webinars and do it very effectively. It's really, really interesting, everyone who's on here who have been to my previous webinars. I find that my webinars, when I have a price point that is $9.97, they sell better than they do at $4.97. Interesting. It's a very interesting phenomenon that the higher price point actually sells more. So just take that to the bank. Think about that. And when you're thinking about how you're pricing your products or services, value yourself utterly and completely, because that is really going to all the anxiety you might be feeling about charging too much. It's anxiety that you're feeling. It doesn't relate to what the customer is expecting and wanting. Okay? So an automated webinar. Now you know what this is because you have our software, probably many of you. Some of you that do not have our software is a automated and live presentation software. So right now you are on a live presentation. However, this also can be automated. Now for those of you watching in YouTube, well, you are not inside the actual page, but this is what our software does. Maybe you decided to go into YouTube. If you are in YouTube, but you did get the links to come into the webinar event, go back into your email, click on the webinar event, come in and watch and look at from the page point of view. Okay, come on in. So an automated event is a pre-recorded online event that has a look and feel of a live event. Now this is completely live, everyone. This is not pre-recorded. This is completely live because I can answer your Facebook questions as they pop up, right? But this is what it would exactly look like if it's pre-recorded. In fact, I'll show you some examples of pre-recorded that really they look exactly identical, and actually they look even better because of how they are laid out. As you can see here, I'm using a 4x3 presentation in a 16:9 slide or 16:9 video window, but that's because it's YouTube, and YouTube looks better in 16:9. Now, when you use our players inside Easy Webinar, and you use say Amazon S3, you upload the video into our platform, and we host it for you, or you get your Amazon to host it. it will look a lot better, a lot cooler. Like I can smush this to 4:3 so it pulls up just the slide itself. Okay. Plus, I'm doing some different things with it here. So anyway, this is what an automated webinar is. Also, an automated webinar can be scheduled in your attendees' time zone. So that means you can have more people registering and coming to your webinars because they are not held by one time zone. They can come to a streamed event at 2 p.m. in their own time zone, right? And the nice thing about ours is that it streams out. If it says 2 p.m., it actually streams it out at 2 p.m. And if someone comes 30 minutes late, they come 30 minutes into the presentation itself. So it really is truly streamed live, okay? Whereas other automated platforms don't have that capability. We have that. And an automated webinar, you don't have the same interaction as live, but you do reduce the technical issues. And in fact, with our software, when I can actually, if I wasn't putting on this presentation, let's say I created this pre-recorded event, right? This could all be pre-recorded. And what I could be doing right now is just answering your questions as you have them. I could be the moderator on my own event, and I don't have to be the one that's putting the event on. Isn't that cool? So this could technically be pre-recorded, but it's not. But if it was, then I could do the event and I could just answer your questions as they pop up. And then I can do less work. Isn't that, just think about that. Now, when you would do something like this with Google Hangouts, you'd always have to, there's like this huge workaround, and you have to pay people to rebroadcast it, and that's very difficult. But with this particular, with our software, you don't have to do that. You can be here answering questions as they come up, and just letting the presentation do the work for you. Very kind of cool. Anywho, when would you use an automated webinar? Well, I would use it when I'm doing this passive recurring income system that I put together a while back, where automating the traffic with YouTube and then driving that traffic into events. So into a webinar. So I would use YouTube traffic to sign them up to a form, bring them to a webinar presentation, sell a quality product, and boom, make some money, make some sales. Okay. And I'm just showing this to you that I was actually using a particular system through Google AdWords for video to drive all of my traffic. Okay, this was paid traffic, but I was getting 3,000 clicks back to the webinar event, and the opt-ins I was getting about 300. I was getting a show rate of a lot less than obviously the clicks, but because this is 300 over the month. But out of those 300, 6 sales occurred, and that means the gross profit was $2,058. It cost me $277 to pay for those Google AdWords for video clicks, and the profit was $1,781. Now I teach this stuff in my VidTraffic conversion system. Okay, I teach all this inside there. But we're not necessarily talking about that particular course right now. However, there's an opportunity to get into that course. By the end, I'm going to share with you what that's all about. So as you can see here, for the year, I netted $20,153 for the 12 months doing these using paid advertisement with YouTube. And this is me essentially making a video, putting it up on YouTube, promoting it through YouTube's various ad areas. Okay, they have the 4 TrueView ad placements, and then it was just a video all about Easy Webinar, and it drove people back into the webinar itself. Okay, and I teach how to do this stuff, just like Facebook stuff. I mean, it's the same concept. Okay, so why should you use a system? Well, it saves yourself time, energy, and money, and that's why I put a system of automation together. I wanted to automate the traffic and automate the events, and that's what I was able to do. So that's one way that you can use this software. Okay, and I was using Easy Webinar to do that. Easy Webinar is a lead funnel tool. For those that do not know, if this is your first time here, Easy Webinar is a lead funnel tool. And by the way, what I'm showing you right now, what you're seeing in front of you, is our brand new, our absolutely brand new templates that are coming out. This is what the templates will look like. Okay, so that you'll be able to use these, and these are completely customizable. So that if you're in a different language, you can change all the text, all the colors, all the everything, the buttons, and You can add your own header. You can add anything you want, and it's very effective for you for doing that. These are also optimized for iPad and iPhone. Okay, so it's pretty cool. All right, so let's keep moving. So the evolution of webinars. I wanted to show you this slide because I want to show you where we have come since the start of this, because this is something that I'm going to be, I'm hinting of what's going to be happening here, but in the next month or so, we're going to roll out all these new features and strategies, and I want to do a proper launch on this. So we're going to launch this out. We're going to have launch dates. We're going to have participants. If anyone wants to participate in promoting Easy Webinar, you can come on as a JV partner and help promote and launch. But with the new stuff is going to be all rolling out in the next few weeks or so. And so this is how we've started. As you know, GoToWebinar was the starter, right? GoToWebinar started in 1999, and it was the big guy. No one really could compare to it except WebEx and a couple others. Then automated webinars came on the scene in 2011. I'm going to jump up quite a bit here to automated webinars, and people really like the idea that they could have something that kind of had this look and feel of a live event, but it was pre-recorded. Now, that's when Easy Webinar came onto the scene, and in 2012, Easy Webinar plugin was a live stream video software built around an engaged experience. So this is where we did automated webinars with live events, though. They were live pre-recorded events. Okay, now let's move to the end of 2012, or the middle of 2012, when Google Hangouts on Air came onto the scene. Now this is actually, they came on early in 2012, but then Hangouts on Air became huge. And this was what I'm doing now. I'm on a Google Hangout on Air where I can use their presentation platform and software to live stream my event. So with that said, Easy Webinar 2.0, which was out about 8 months ago, said, you know what, let's do this. Let's build out a live webinar option where we can integrate Google Hangouts on Air, and that's what you're seeing right now. This has been the growth. And right now we have a new growth occurring in the next 3 weeks that is going to be bigger, badder than ever. And a lot of it is all around a CRM concept. Now, if you don't know what a CRM is, it's a content management system, right? Or a CMS, I guess you'd say, where we have your emails. You can do everything from the system. So we would track your leads through our software from registration all the way to the end, okay? And I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm going to show you some of our screenshots of the development that we have going on, where we're tracking everybody, the leads experience, from registering to attending to clicking on actions to commenting. All this is going to be inside Easy Webinar under each of your webinars. Also with this whole CRM idea, the emails too. You can do follow-up emails for attendees or non-attendees. Also, another aspect of that is the aspect of the webinars and lists that you the webinars and sites you have listed under your license. It's soon coming out here, you're going to be able to add your own users to your license. So there's going to be a bit of a resell option, okay, which is a very cool concept, and we're going to be rolling that in pretty soon here. Let me just see if there's any questions. Sorry. Hold on one second. I'm not answering that. I'm going to hang it up. Of course, this is what happens when you're doing a live event. Let me see here. Now, I do have some questions rolled in. It looks like about customer relationship management. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate it. See, as you can see, I'm not necessarily the developer. Gabriel Ramos says, great. Customer relationship management, says Juan. When is the new updates coming out? In the next few weeks. Great. Gabriel says, great. Just when I need it for Spanish market. Excellent. Yes. Okay. Also, by the way, yeah, Ernie says, yes, you could also sell with webinars, right? Oh, and Carol, thank you for dropping off the link. Okay, so I don't want to get too, we might get a lot more questions coming in. And Juan, just so you're aware, and everybody else, just so you're aware, Easy Webinar is responsive to iPad and iPhone. And we have just put in a new player. It's not in this player. This is not the player you're seeing here in front of you. The new player, we did some tweaks because YouTube, well, an iPhone, iOS did some tweaks, so we needed to do some tweaks. So now we have a new player that's going to be rolled in as well very soon here. So exciting stuff coming down the line. So, and again, you know, we do both live stream and we automate the process. And the reason I like doing this stuff is because you can repurpose it. What we've done here is we've tried to make this as simple as possible, okay? And yes, Ernie, we are using Google Hangouts for this. We've tried to make this as simple as possible by allowing you to do a live event, which is through Google Hangouts, streamed into YouTube. You could take the YouTube URL, put it into our software, and then you're repurposing that same event, and it automatically can become a replay event, right? Now, what's also nice is if I wanted to, I could hide all the feeds that are showing this event outside of EasyWebinar's page. I could hide it from Google+, I could hide it from YouTube if I wanted to do this completely private. But what I like about this is that I'm getting more eyeballs coming to this event than I would if I just did this as the private interior just inside EasyWebinar itself. So because I'm getting some viral stuff coming through here, which is very, very nice. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. In fact, I see that I have viewers on YouTube equally as what we have on EasyWebinar. So anyway, let me continue on here. Sorry, the phone keeps ringing. It's a toll-free number. Hold on one second. Let me just undo this here. Silly toll-free numbers. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing, though. You need, if you're going to sell on an event, if you're going to sell on a webinar, because Ernie says, you can sell on webinars. It's true. You need to have a high-converting webinar. So if you haven't gone, this is a live event, so things like that could possibly happen. I mean, if we had a windstorm and suddenly my internet knocked out, that's what would happen. This had nothing to do with the software itself. It also didn't have anything to do with Google Hangouts. It was the presenter's foolishness. So in that regard, let's just push on. Okay? Okay, so this is what I was talking about. And you may have seen this before, but when you're doing an event, I want you to have a product you believe in, because if you don't present a product you believe in, it's really going to come across as that you don't believe in it. So you have to have an amazing, remarkable product that solves a problem and it provides tremendous value, something you can really get behind and say, hey, I love this product, because too often people promote products that they haven't used and it can show in their presentations. An increase in sales happens when you have a passion about the product or service and you believe in it, okay? So number 2 is show a trend. So if you're doing a webinar, you want to show how your product relates to a trend in the marketplace, okay? So for instance, because this puts an emphasis on why someone should get the product now, right? As an example, as this relates to webinars, let me just share an example. Webinars have gotten huge in the last couple of years. They are a several billion-dollar industry, and in this trend, you see people using it, such as HubSpot and National Association of Realtors. Universities, such as University of Southern California, they'll use webinars. So show a trend as it relates to your product. Okay, and then a subset of that is show who can benefit from it, whether it's, so in regards to webinars, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, real estate agents, learning institutions, marketers, consultants, those are the type of people that can benefit from webinars. Here is one of our earlier clients, one of our first clients. He has an adoption company, and he used the software to register attendees and then drive them into where he could get them on a call. And this was a great way to do this. He would build leads automatically for people that are interested in adoption. So it was a very, very cool thing. So number 3 is in this process. So we already talked about a trend. Now you need to identify a problem in the marketplace and why your product is necessary, okay? Because only by highlighting the problem can you have the solution. So the problem is how to convert traffic into sales. The old ways don't work anymore. Newspaper ads, no one really reads those. Billboards, they're expensive and old-fashioned. Television commercials, they're too expensive and no rate of return. Radio ads, also expensive and no rate of return. Craigslist, they'll slap you big time for using and trying to drive leads through this. And then you want to present the solution. Webinars convert. Webinars or events are a great way to reach out and connect with an audience and and build leads essentially, right? In fact, webinars convert traffic 40 times better. I'm hoping that this webinar, you know, we did have that hiccup in the middle, but I'm really hoping that everything can get back on track. That's the idea behind this. Is what I really like about what our software does is you guys were still on this page. You didn't have to leave this page. You could stay on this page. What happens with a GoToWebinar is if a GoToWebinar or another event software cuts out, you can't get back in. But with this one, as you can see, it started back up again. We started back in and brought it back through. And what all you have to do is swap out within our player. You see, if we had if we were using an embed code, you couldn't do that. So that's what's kind of nice about our software is that the player allows you to start a Hangout. If you lose a Hangout or have to stop, you can roll it back in by just starting another one. Okay, so continuing on, I want you to start thinking the solution as showing examples. It's always good to highlight people that are using or talking about whatever your service or product is. So here's Mari Smith talking about webinars. She actually uses webinars to drive tremendous amounts of traffic. In fact, she had 7,500 opt-ins for an event, and if she had been using our software to run this particular event, folks, she would be able to have 3,000 to 4,000 people on the event. We don't have a limitation to how many attendees are here. Okay, we don't limit that. So you can have unlimited number of attendees. All right, it's a very cool thing. Okay, so let's move on here. And then number 5 is show the results. This is showing people how the product or service has helped people in their efforts. Okay, so for instance, bring in case studies and show proof of results. For example, you can show your own results. This is my results, remember, from 12 months of sales from one product, okay, $245,000, okay? But you can also bring in other people as case studies. Here's a friend of mine, Brian, who used webinars, automated webinars, to do about $5,000 to $10,000 a month selling his Facebook ads, okay? You can use people from Facebook. Here's Sean Malarkey. Some of you might know him. He runs literally thousands of automated webinars of his product to affiliates and have nothing but great results. Compared to live webinars, you lose the engagement factor, but you also gain a lot as well. The technical issues or complaints are about 1/10. And as you can see, we're on a live. We already had a technical blunder from myself personally, and that's generally what happens. It's usually the presenter who does something to mess things up a bit. So if you can have an automated video in there already for the automated event, you can sort of lessen those issues or problems occurring, right? And I would recommend, you know, looking at both sides. And I don't say that automated webinars are better than live. I think they're equal. And they automated webinars are great because they free up your time. But live is good because you have that deeper interaction and engagement, right? But now, if you can hybrid the two by playing a video and answering comments, that can really work. Now, unfortunately, you can't say hi to someone, or you can't do that, but you can comment. Okay, and number 6 is get personal. Actually, this would probably show up at the early end of your webinar, so you'd have at the beginning where you want to show your audience how they can relate to you. Okay. Connect with them. Show them screenshots of some success stories, or you with your family, something that brings a human connection, because this, again, if you're trying to sell something online, you want to have a human connection, because obviously, we're online, so that connection is it's somewhat lost. But if you can do something where human connection. For instance, if I were to turn the screen on me and you would see me, you'd see me in my office. I'm actually in a running shirt because before I'd started this event, I was running. I did a 3-mile run and then came to do the event. So things like that can help connect. Okay, so what is the problem with webinars? Well, here's the problem. In the past, there have been limited resources and restrictions on webinars and the technology around them, such as event registration, number of events, and the two biggest problems that I find are how can you get more people to your events, and webinars don't have a viral or social element to them, okay? That is until now. So now in 2013 comes the perfect match. Okay, that's where Easy Webinar and Google Hangouts integrated. Okay, that was early on in 2013. Easy Webinar plugin allows you to do private live events with Google Hangouts Live. We did this with Alex Mondosian. This is with our newest customized pages here. You can see it's a much bigger player, and this was a great event. You can also use Easy Webinar live page as a holding room to bring people through to the live stream happening in YouTube, okay? So for instance, just imagine if this video was actually a video where I said to you, hey, great, you've made it. Now, what I want you to do is click on this link below and come through to the live event that's happening in YouTube right now. And by me sending traffic to YouTube, what happens by doing that is that I get all that YouTube and Google juice when I use a Google Hangout, right? And that's what's happened here. If I go into that video, I not only had comments on those videos, but I have comments inside Easy Webinar. Both help with ranking. So these videos will live after the event itself is done, right? Okay, and here's me showing you an example. This would be the video that is the call to action video saying, hey, come on through, and then they could click here to get access to come to the YouTube video. And it's your opportunity then to say, hey, good, you've made it. Now click thumbs up while you're here at this video. Also comment on the video, please. Let us know where you're from in the world. And that everything, all those things help because Google actually this last year has said they want more engaged content. And the more comments and the more likes up, they are giving top ranking for those. An Easy Webinar is a full webinar or event funnel, meaning that it can be used to register users. And the webinar pages are already pre-built, and many of you know this because you are a part of our program. Okay, so let me show you very quickly here what this diagram looks like. Okay, so you start with a registration page, okay, and you know this because you went through this process. You got the email notification, and you could come to the countdown timer. And while at that same time, you were sent to a thank you page, right? And on the thank you page, you could share news of the event to unlock a free gift. And you did that because we had quite a few people sharing news, okay? That is, we had that, right? So from that, you do the countdown, you get the emails. All the emails, by the way, everyone, were done by our own built-in notifications. I didn't use any autoresponders. I just used our built-in notifications for all the emails to get to you. And then, of course, the event page. It unlocks the event page, and you're coming to the event, and that's where you're at now, right? So that's pretty much the funnel itself. But I'm going to come on to show you some of the social things. I want to give you some stats because yesterday or early this morning we had about 175 people registered for this event. We had about 70 shares from that. Okay, so let's see, 175 people divided by 70. Sorry, 70 divided by 175 is 40%. That means 40% of those who registered for the event shared news of the event to Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. And that means that you are getting viral traffic coming to this event. Also, I also noticed this, that we had about a 50% registration percentage. So that means for all the people that came to the page itself by this time, so we had about 373 unique people visit the page at that point. 50% of them registered. So we had 175 people registered. So I want to share this with you because I want to show you what the numbers can look like and the numbers compared to, say, GoToWebinar, because GoToWebinar, generally speaking, you have a 30% registration. Maybe you can have 30 or 50% if it's a warm list, but generally speaking, you have fewer attendees. You have about 30% attendees, and right now we have, let's see, if I were to put this together, we have about 40 to 45% attendees on the event right now. And I know that when the drop-off occurred, some things happened, but that's how many we have right now. And inside YouTube, I have all of my subscribers in YouTube that are also coming to the event. Okay, so continuing on. After the event is over, you have a replay system, right? So so we'll have an email going out saying, hey, if you missed the event, or hey, if you lost some of the event, here it is. Get the replay now. Well, you can do that. You'll get the email, and this event will already be pre-created, because if you do a Google Hangout, you don't have to edit it out if you don't want to. Now, me personally, I will edit out a bit of it before I make it go live, right? But all I have to do is go into YouTube and do that, and it's very easy. I can actually take the first 30 minutes of a clip out when I'm doing it, because I start my events with Google Hangouts 30 minutes ahead of time. Okay, and then what I do is I take the presentation, I mute my mic, set up the presentation, and then go get a cup of coffee or drink some water, go to the bathroom, get ready to do the event. And what I'll do is, as soon as the event is over, when I stop the broadcast, I'm going to go back into that, and what was once the Google Hangout on air, now the video, and edit out and take out the first 30 minutes. And I could do that with YouTube's editor. YouTube has an editor within itself where you can do that. Okay. Okay. So. And then if you did want to move this and change it into an automated event, you would move it from Google Hangout integration to pre-recorded webinar, and that's that simple. One click of the button, one movement, and then you can also set it up to where it's you can schedule it to be automated. This one event that you did live can now be an automated event. It's very cool stuff. Okay, so and then as I said, the process runs all the way back through again, right? You can send out a replay, and then at the same time set up the automated webinar, and now you have the automated webinar that does the exact same thing as the live event. This whole process is the exact same as what happens with live. Okay, so why Easy Webinar? Well, we have search engine optimization available. We have same site webinar cloning and cross webinar cloning, and if you are within our software, you know that's what we do. Okay, you can take one webinar, put it on a different site that you have, or duplicate that webinar, clone it, and then you can always use a master of webinar, and I'll show you this when we come in there as the main thing. We also have advanced scheduling for both live and automated. We have a built-in email notification or your own autoresponder integration. So if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to use our built-in notification. I could use my own autoresponder and send out to you your unique URL for the event itself, okay, through your own autoresponder. That's some of the stuff that we can do. Also, we have chatbox integration. So Facebook is one, Twitter's another, and of course we have default. Okay, so obviously events and webinars, they're at a tipping point. These are things that are changing all the time. This is a moment of critical mass, the threshold, the boiling point of a different way of communicating to an audience. Okay. Now, webinars, they are a sleeping giant outside of the IM world. Most of you are probably inside the IM world, but outside the IM world, many people don't know about it. And so what a lot of our clients do is they set up webinars for their clients in the offline industry. And that's how I started out, because I had to do it that way. So yeah, it's bigger, it's a bigger opportunity outside the internet marketing space. Plus, webinars, these events, I can do anywhere. And even though we had that little hiccup, and I'm still kind of riled up about that hiccup, that as humans, we kind of get upset when we kind of make a mistake. But the automated really allows you to do things that you love. You can set this stuff up once and have it work for you over and over again. So I don't know if any of you are part of the community as of yet, but if you are, then definitely stay. If you are or aren't, definitely stay on. We're going to be. I want to go into Easy Webinar to show you some stuff. But if you aren't, then Easy Webinar might be the right solution for you, especially if you're doing webinars, events in your business right now to promote yourself. And if you want a better solution for promoting yourself out to the world that has both social and search aspects. And if you've wanted an affordable solution for your events because GoToWebinar's $500 a month price tag was wearing you down, then this might be an option for you. And if you've been looking for a way to automate your profitability, if you've been wanting to build up your online community through the power of providing good and usable content, and if you've been wanting a simple to use system that houses all your events in one place, plus if you wanted to take one event and use it over and over again, then Easy Webinar might be the right solution for you. So there were people that asked about the price and how to get the software. And I'm going to come back to the questions that we have. But just so you know, everyone, the software costs right now $247 for the 10-site license, $343 for the unlimited commercial license. And these are one-time payments. This is a one-time cost to get full functionality of the software where you can do unlimited events. Okay? So that's easywebinarplugin.com. Essentially, that's where you go and you can follow the process of purchasing if you're interested in coming through and becoming a member. So now, in the next 3 weeks, we have some new stuff being rolled out. We might actually be tweaking this price point because I might increase the price here because we're going to be rolling in some added training, okay? Because it's going to be a launch. So this price actually will probably go up a bit in that regard. But this price is where it's at now, and with a 10-site license, you can create unlimited webinars with unlimited attendees up to 10 sites. Okay, that's what that means. Now, the commercial license is really great if you have, say, client sites, and you want to put all those client sites under your license. Okay, you can do so. Now, what's going to be happening, which is very interesting here, is we're going to give you options, as I said this before, of having and adding your own users. Okay, so you can add users to your license. They'll get their own unique login, okay, and you get a resale. So you can actually sell them into it, okay? You can charge them for their own sign-up. So your clients now, they can pay you through our system. It's going to be very cool, okay? That's something that I can't wait for. Okay, so right now also we do have training, and there are two options for our training. Okay. Now, once you become a member of Easy Webinar, you can get the 10-site license or the unlimited license. But then there is an option, an opportunity, an option to get the Elite member, EWP Elite, which is a membership program where it's $67 a month, where you not only get video hosting, because we'll host the videos for you with this package, but you also get training. You get access to my vid traffic conversion training, okay, and that's for $67 a month. You get the premium training, and you get video hosting. Now, if you didn't want to go for the video hosting because you have your own, say, Amazon S3 account, or you want to use YouTube, you could do that, and that would be with EWP Elite membership program. That's for $37. I mean, sorry, the Master program. That's for $37 a month if you wanted to. Those are completely optional. They are completely up to you, just so you're aware. And by the way, this is my vid traffic conversion program. And if you did want to come through for either the 67 or 37, you get access to this. And this is a system that I put together for driving traffic and conversion through Google+, Google Hangouts, YouTube, and webinars. And plus, all that stuff that I talked about where I teach about the Google AdWords for video, well, all that is actually rolled into this platform. And to access this platform, if you wanted to come through here and still have the software of Easy Webinar, you could come through and upgrade into the 67 or 37 monthly payment and get access to this training system. Okay, so yes, it's my complete video webinar community building membership site. Okay, Anyway, so for me and the gang here at Easy Webinar, I thank you for your time today. Now, I'm not done with the slides here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go from the slides, and I'm going to show you some new things that we're doing with Easy Webinar, and I'm going to answer some questions that you may have. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to share me, and we're going to go back in there. And I appreciate those who are still on, and I apologize for the little hiccup that happened. Let me just refresh this and see how many comments we have, and if there's anything particular that you have a question on. And if so, please do go ahead and leave your comment below. All right, so let me go in and see what kind of questions we have here. Okay, so we have quite a few. We have quite a few. Let me go back. Let me go back. Yeah, so I want to go back to, let's see, where do I want to go back to? Yeah, okay, so for those who are coming on now, I accidentally unplugged my phone, which unplugged my presentation completely. So there was a hiccup in a time when there were when there was nothing on here. So I'm actually going to go from there, and I'm going to see. Okay, so Deposit Capital said, okay, looks like he hit the Stop Hangout button inside Google Plus accounts. This means he is setting up another Hangout or video presentation. Check your emails. He has some good stuff he wants to show us today, so watch your emails as well. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deposit Capital. I don't know. I feel like you look familiar. MM Rice. Thank you so much for letting them know. And again, those who stayed on the page, this worked for you. Now, I should probably go into my email and send out a blast out to those who did lose this, who were watching inside YouTube. But I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so can the built-in notification? Okay, Jim says, can the built-in notification to the share feature, just in case they don't inside the thank you page? Oh, I think I see what you're saying, Jim. You're saying, can you share your gift in the email? Yes, Jim, you can. Let me actually go in and go into Easy Webinar. So let me go in and share my screen. First off, it's probably going to share me. Okay. So I'll go in and share my screen here for a second. Hold on one second. So I'm going to share my desktop 1. Actually, let's go desktop 2. Okay, so share screen. All right, so now you should see, let me talk louder into the microphone. You should see my my screen, and you should see, everything on it here. So so what we're going to do is I'm going to go in, there I am, okay. I'm going to go in and click on See All Webinars. Okay, so here we are in the webinar dashboard, and this is the webinar we're on right now. It's called Easy Webinar Live Events Master for Affiliates, and I call it that because I'll take that and I'll duplicate that, I'll clone it, and I'll make it for another affiliate, as you can see here, right? So I'll do that, and I'll do that every single time. And I'll just have to switch out a couple things. So if I go into Edit Event or Edit Webinar, you will see what this was or what it did or how I had to set it up. And it's a very simple process because what I'm doing essentially is I'm cloning the event from another event, and then I'm just filling in some stuff, just filling in a few key spots. I'm going to decide if I want to do a Google Hangout integration or the automated. I'm going to choose, if I want a different template, I can do that. But I'm going to use like the same video on my registration page, my thank you page for every affiliate that I have, okay? I could switch out just a couple things for those affiliates, like maybe I put their image in instead of mine. And then, I would go in, and the main thing that you'd set up is right here. When you'd make this a one-time event, or you could make this an unlimited event, every day or select days in the week. And what I'm going to do as soon as this event is over, I'm going to, let me just see if you guys can see my page. Okay, yeah, perfect. And maybe what I'll do is let me tighten this up so you can see it more. So it's a little clearer for you. Okay, that should be pretty clear. Let me just see if that probably, yeah, I'll have it showing in a second there. So you can see here that, once this event is over, I'm going to make this an automated event, essentially, right? Okay, so here at the event itself, this is where the YouTube video goes in, okay? And I just grab that long YouTube URL that the Hangout is done in, and here's the Hangout itself, everyone. And it's not actually showing me. This is a new layout for Hangouts, just recently started up again. It's just brand new. And I used to have, you can see how many viewers I have, and this was about 50 to 60 viewers before we got cut out. So new viewers were able to find us, thank goodness. So that's pretty awesome that happened. The nice thing about this is, guess what, everyone? Guess what? I sent out a link to you that was this particular link. YouTube.com/user, can you see this right here? /user, the niche umbrella /live, okay? Now because I sent that into your email, no matter if I start a new Google Hangout or not, that link will always redirect into wherever I'm streaming the Hangout. So even though we messed up and lost that previous Hangout, I didn't give you this direct URL. I gave you, if you were watching in YouTube, I gave you the youtube.com/user/username/live link, which no matter if I lose a Hangout or not, that will always bring you into the most recent Hangout or the whatever Hangout I'm doing. So that's why there are probably people still on this particular event. So Lisa, that's why you're here. Okay, so getting back in, let's just go through here. Your question, I want to get back to what your question was, and who was that asked the question? Let me just go in. Jim asked the question. So the question was, can I deliver a gift through email? Of course. And you can use our built-in notification. Here's the first email that goes out. If you wanted to, you don't have to use these templates. You can actually not use a template and send it out. Or if you did, you could say, your seat has been registered. The webinar is going to rock. If you didn't get your webinar conversion report, you can do so by clicking here, right? Just like any text editor, you can add this in. Okay? Cool stuff, right? So yes, you can do that, of course. And then, I don't think any no, I do. I have some, these are the emails that were sent out. So this was sent out 30 minutes before the event starts. And let's see if I have any post emails set up here. Yep, I even have post emails already set up, replay emails to go out. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to edit this video, right? And I'm going to then put it back, or it's going to be the same link. It's going to be the same YouTube link. I could just edit the video inside YouTube. So it's pretty cool stuff. So let me just refresh this. See if there's any other questions that we have here. Let me bring this over here. Okay. I did want to show you some other things. So here, as you can see, these are the Twitter shares that were from this particular event, right? And this brings in a viral effect. And also, we had Facebook comments and, of course, Google Plus comments. In fact, it's funny, we had somebody that actually shared this a ton of times. Let me show you something. Let me go back out of here. And I'm not going to save anything. I don't want to save what I did there. Let me go pull out of here for a second. Okay, we go in here and check out thank you page. Let me pause this. If you notice, let me pause. We have 152. Pause this. 152 Google Plus likes. Now, someone came through and just liked the heck out of this. They probably tried it a couple times. They maybe couldn't find their bonus, so they went back and clicked it a couple times. See what happened, and see there is with Twitter and Facebook, I think they limit how many times you can share something, but with Google Plus, you can share the same thing over and over again. Okay, very interesting. So so let's say I were to tweet, and you went through this process, so you saw what it was like. It would unlock that free gift below. So, okay. Now let me see. I did want to show you some of the newest stuff that we have. Can I go through and show you some of our new development? Dev. Okay, this should be it here. And I have some images that I can show you as well. Now this is rough at the moment, but I do have some cool images to show. Let's see here. So I'm going to go in and just share with you what the dimensions, what this kind of looks like, the bigger version here now. Oh, by the way, we have a live page that we're opening up too. Okay, and this live page is going to be accessible to everybody and anyone. Okay, that means that you can either set it to be a countdown, to count down to an actual event, or it could be when you click on it, it takes you directly into the event itself. Now I think this one, yeah, so this one, you don't have to register for it, but the event is in 2 hours, and what will happen is it'll stream in to the event itself. So you could send out links to people that are on your list where they don't have to register. So chances are this is how I would do it for all the people that are on my list, so that I don't have to have them re-register. Okay. So let me go back into here. Oh. Okay, hold on one second. Let me check this one out. Yeah, and so this one isn't. This one is actually set to come directly into the event itself. Okay, and this is just kind of a test, so you can kind of see what this looks like. Video isn't up yet, but let me see here if I can go back into here. Let's see if I check this out. So this is what the new players are looking like. Kind of interesting stuff. They're much bigger, and if you want to see what the event page can look like, and everything is completely customized. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so here is what they look like, and all this stuff is completely customized. You can add. This is kind of bare bones right now, but you can add a ton to it. Okay. All right, so let me get back to see if there are any particular questions that I needed to get answered here. So let me go through those. I see some questions all about, is this only for WordPress sites? Lisa, yes, this is for WordPress sites. What we are wanting to do eventually is have this available to where we host everything, okay? We host the entire thing, all right? That's what we want to have at some point as well. And Jim has said, so the share feature is not inside the built-in notification template, so we can just add a link back to the thank you page for them to social share it. You mean if they don't social share it, you're saying you want to ask them to go back and share. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're interested in actually having it share news right from there, right from the email itself. That's interesting. We could maybe do that at some point. At this point, no. Yeah, they'd have to. You maybe could send a link back to share news of it by going to the thank you page, which you can do that because the thank you page, there is no. It's not locked up. You should be able to send people directly back to the thank you page. So Stan says, here's an idea. I like the concept of using EasyWebinar both as a holding room as the Hangout viewing platform in order to acquire Facebook comments. Hangout viewing platform in order to acquire Facebook. Is there a way to have a button appear part way through the Hangout on EasyWebinar page saying, come over to YouTube? The button is hyperlinked to the YouTube channel at user/live page. At that preset point in time, as the button appears on the screen, I'd verbally ask people who are on the EasyWebinar page to come over to YouTube and join the comments system there. This way, I'm guaranteed significant comments on both platforms. Ideally, I'd like a mechanism to supply a free gift for anyone who clicks the come on over to YouTube button. That's an interesting way to do it. I never thought about actually doing it that particular way, Stan. That's actually a very cool way to do it. You could do that. We have delayed events that actually pop up that can show up. However, those delayed events work primarily for the those are for the replay videos. Those are for only the videos that those delayed events are tied to. And for the Hangouts, for the live events, Facebook, Twitter, or even a third-party chat is really the way that we kind of do it now. Let me just go into the event page here. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's any other questions. Okay. I'm just refreshing to see if there's any other questions that have come through. Let me pull this over this way. All right. Okay. My internet's a bit slow at the moment here. All right, there we go. Coming into the page itself. Okay. Let's see if we have any other questions. Ron said, goodness, have to listen to this from the start. Okay, and Gabrielle says, I noticed that by using EasyWebinar with optimized press templates, you lose the option to be able to send people to the thank you page. Are you going to fix that soon? Actually, Gabrielle, that's a very interesting point. Yeah, you're right. We don't have that that connected because you use our webinar widget, which is here. This webinar widget is what you can use for right here, get widget code. This is what you can use for other templates, other pages. So I could take that, and as you know, I have this. I think I have this on my. Let's see, Casey Zeman Online. I think it's on my home page, and of course we have it also inside of the optimized press landing page that I have set up as well. So here is that. This is the widget, right? This widget can go anywhere, and you can register for a future event, or I can watch yesterday's replay, which is essentially just a video. So I'm going to put Casey. I'm going to put Trace. Let's see. I'll send it to Steve at vidtrafficconversion.com. Register. And you'll see here that right from my home page, I can bring people directly into the webinar event, right? As you can see right here, this is bringing them directly into this particular pre-recorded event. All right, so that's essentially what's happening here. Now it's taking a little time to connect to it, but it will. Okay, so all right, now let me ask if there's any other questions. Any other questions at all? What I might do is I might go through some of these the best questions here and actually go into the Facebook group and pop these questions in, okay, just so you guys have them, okay? So those will be there. Okay, so that's about it. Now there's one last thing that I did want to mention, and it's right here. So I'm going to do something for you guys for the next few days, and you'll get an email from me where if you pick up the unlimited site license right now for the next 3 days till Tuesday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So till Tuesday, I'm going to be giving you access to my 4 webinar series. Now this is an event that I'm going to be putting on this month where you can learn how to profit with webinars. And I'm going to be bringing in guests that can also help me through this process. They're going to be there, and I've put on bad webinars before. I've put on successful webinars before. And what are the ways that you can, you need to know both so you can know that there's no harm in failure. There's no harm in taking risks. In fact, the more risks, the better, in my opinion, because then you learn. And now I learned to not unplug my phone while I do a webinar event. So that's what we're going to be talking about at the webinar series. Plus, I have the new YouTube series on how to properly set up a YouTube account and become a partner in less than 3 hours on YouTube. Because in order to stream a Google Hangout, just like what we're doing now, for a long period of time, you will have to be able to do longer than 15 minutes. Okay, and there's just a couple tweaks that you can do with that. Plus, when you're doing this is going to be a video as soon as this Hangout is over. And the nice thing about that is that as soon as it's over, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to add clickable links inside the video itself that drive people back to Easy Webinar. And if I was not a partner inside YouTube, I couldn't do that. So that's what Easy Webinar. That's what I want to teach you. I want to teach you how to become a partner. So that you can set this up yourself and then use this same system. Okay. All right. So then I have something else for you. My webinar presentation image folder. Some of you who are members already probably have this, but some don't. This is a high-resolution quality image folder with over 250 images, and these are images either I've taken or they are completely they are public domain. Okay, that means that you can I've bought them, and I've bought like an unlimited license to them so that I could have them and give them out to my community. As long as you're not selling this, you're fine. So just keep these to yourself. These are for community people only. So all of that I'm going to roll in if you get the unlimited license and you're not a member of Easy Webinar at the moment. And again, remember, Easy Webinar is a one-time cost, okay? But if you did want to get into the vid traffic conversion training, you could do so, okay? Okay, and then if you did get the 10-site license, for those who are not members, you only get my presentation image folder. So you get the high-res images, but you don't get the training that I have here for you, okay? Okay, so I want to finalize this by saying, this month I have a lot of cool things coming out. Easy Webinar, we're doing a lot of development, and I'm going to do more of these webinars. I'm going to actually try to start doing a series of webinars every Saturday at 11 a.m. And teach about how you can use events, how you can use Easy Webinar, how you can drive traffic and then convert that traffic. And I want you to start asking questions that we can potentially answer, and I can answer on these weekly calls, okay? So this month is going to be pretty jam-packed. I also have an elite master program coming out, which is a very similar to a coaching program, but it's a high-end mastermind that it's not one of the two training areas that I told you about. You know, one's for 67 and one for 37. This is completely different. This is actually something where I'm only taking 100 members into this mastermind. This is for a select group who want to use the concept of leverage to build their success. So I'm going to be bringing those people in, and we are going to be doing things such as barn raising, which is where we all get together and help one person with their business, their online business. So it's you get all of the community. So I'll be sending out links for that pretty soon here for you, so you can see that. Okay. Again, thank you everybody who did come to this particular event. If you did want to get Easy Webinar, I'm going to add a comment. You can simply go to easywebinarplugin.com and register and pick up your own copy if you wanted to. Okay, so go ahead and do that if that's something you're interested in, and then keep an eye out for the emails that are going to be coming out that are all about you know, the launch that we're doing and more of these events. And I promise I won't unplug the phone, and we'll probably make them a bit shorter, and I'll try to answer a lot of questions on them. But also the mastermind program that I'm sending out, okay, pretty soon here, that is where we're only taking 100 members. So just keep an eye out for that. And you guys know that I have a few courses that you know I have a few products such as VidTraffic Conversion, which is a full product by itself that sells for $497, which is all about marketing with video, Google Plus, and Google Hangouts. You could come and get that course by itself, or you could come into Easy Webinar Plugin and you get access to that with the upgrades to the $67 or $37. And then, of course, this mastermind, which is pretty powerful, and we're only going to be taking 100 extremely dedicated entrepreneurs and business owners to be a part of this awesome group. So, again, thank you all very much for coming today. And if you should have any questions, go ahead and put in the Facebook, into our Facebook group questions. I will add a comment in a bit here as to the Facebook group, but I think Carol Dodsley actually already did. She already added a link for our Facebook group. So come on through. If you're not in part of the Facebook group, come in there, and we'll be able to talk and discuss and brainstorm and really, you know, understand how you can use webinars and events to build a business around. Okay, well, thank you everybody so much, and I'm going to end this broadcast, and have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.